Mhm.
So we're here with Morbid. What rank are you?
Champ one ish slash two right now.
I guess are you champ one
I
because of the new
yeah,
season? Is
champ
that right?
one.
Yeah.
I keep flirting with champ two, but I keep dropping back out.
Nah.
So
Look. First month of ranked in the season's a bit of a dumpster fire. So it makes sense, honestly. To be honest. All right. Let's get into it. All right. Classic Dominus player. That's a pretty okay. Let's see. It's not a bad kickoff. I'd say let's see if you hit the middle of the ball though. If I go slow, all right. You're pretty good, but you can see right there. You can actually see where you're not hitting the ball right in the middle of the ball.
mhm.
So this is why it forces out, which is pretty good. Like you force out in the right way, but if the opponent was a little bit more in at the ball, you'd get dunked on there. So just a
Yeah,
thing to think about. Not a
if he
huge
was more
issue.
solid, he'd be winning me. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I switch off my kickoffs quite often with
Yeah,
him.
yeah, it's
So
all good. Like it's a decent kickoff result, but just I always point out exactly what's the issue with kickoffs. Look, I suck at kickoffs, so I can see it from a mile away. Did your teammate just take? You guys are in a party, aren't you? Right?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So did your teammate like did he communicate he's taking this boost?
That's that. I don't think he communicated. It's kind of a common occurrence. So I don't
Okay,
think it's
okay,
really
that's fine. That's fine.
communicated.
All right, cool. So here, as soon as he takes that boost, you should leave instantly. Okay.
Okay.
You're not helping the situation with no boost, right? You're actually a
Hmm.
hindrance to the situation because if the ball comes even sort of near you, like you're crept up here, right? Actually, one second.
Right.
Let me get something I've forgotten to go G ink. Just so that I can, and then go Alt Y.
Not
There we
enough
go.
wave dashing and half flips could get me back to net in time to save that if it was on. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like you can look at it from a perspective. All right, cool. So if we go back and then go like if we fly up, right? Think about think about what area of the kind of the place that you're kind of protecting. Okay, so
Hmm.
let's kind of give an approximation. So your teammate probably can kind of go there, but he's rushing really quickly, so that kind of narrows it down. All right, and then
Hmm.
you have no boost, so I would say around about here-ish, right? That's about the
Right.
area that you'd be protecting, right? Sort of. You can probably push up to here a little bit because you're closest to the ball. So let's say like here, but
Hmm.
you can see that there's all this space here, right?
Right.
So you're not going to be able to get to here quick enough when this guy has full boost, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Hmm.
you're not really helping the play. So if your teammate takes the middle boost, then you go. I'm guessing you're in Discord together, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Go. I'm taking back boost. That tells him.
Okay.
That tells him that push. You're
Like
not
a
pushing up, and he has to
verbal
deal with.
communication
Yeah,
on where I'm at. Yeah.
and he has to deal with being aggressive here, right? Honestly,
Right.
he's too aggressive here. I guess because you're going to be sending this to him, so I'll try and also kind of coach him a little bit. He's too aggressive here. Like,
Okay.
there's no need to be that aggressive. If we're talking about this, right? So,
Hmm.
does he have to be that close? Even if he was in your situation, is this an easy shot on goal for you? If you had boost, obviously, right?
Yeah. If I had boost, then
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. So even
If
if
I was consistent at shooting, that is.
yeah, even if he was in your
Unfortunately.
similar situation, right, position, right,
Hmm.
he can still get this ball, but because he's so close and coming hard, it cuts off his
Hmm.
options. So just something to kind of note. You don't have to be so close. You don't have to live with the guy, like sit right
Hmm.
with the opponent. The opponent isn't going to control his ball well, so you just back off a little bit and allow yourself to control more of the pitch. So yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we've kind of talked about where you want to be. So you can see here you're not able to challenge in any way, right? Really?
Hmm.
You see? Like now you're on the negative side, right? Imagine you'd gone back for your boost, right? And then that pinch had
Right.
happened. You'd be in a bit better position, right? So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. Now something I tell all my students that I coach is when I'm being in. There's two positions I want to be in, uh, which is inside the goal, so like
Hmm.
behind the goal, like behind the goal line, because I can get to anything that you can get to, but I also have the ability to fly up, right? And then
Right.
look left, look right. If you're kind of rotating in, then you can also do the back post rotation. Like slow your roll until the ball gets hit, and then
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm kind of creeping near post, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
have had a
No,
coach
no, no.
tell me to
Near
sit
post
inside
is fine.
center.
Near post is fine. Near post is also okay, but you need to sit back so you have more time to recover for anything that's about to happen, right? So this is okay, but this is bad because you have no like. You see how awkward this is, but here it's much easier for you to if you're behind the line. That's it. So
Yeah. Right.
obviously you got pull boost. That's okay. Now don't creep up when a ball's about to be hit. Okay.
Okay.
Because now you've just gone back. Now you're going forward. Now you're going back. Now you're going forward, right?
I think that's a patience issue.
Yeah, yeah. So if you sit inside the goal, you can just chill out and see what happens.
Okay.
It's an interesting. I mean, you get a decent hit on it. I don't know if I'd go for this. I'd probably control this in the corner. So if I put it into this corner right here, right? I probably have control of that ball again to do a 50 again. So I beat this guy, right? Then I 50 this guy, and hopefully it pinches out into their corner, right? Make sense? So this
Right.
guy is getting back to try and get boost or whatever, and then this guy comes in to try and challenge. I 50, and if I do a good 50, my teammate can kind of push forward and go for the goal, right? So keep control a little bit. The clear is pretty good for what you're doing, but yeah, control is nice too.
Okay.
I'm glad you're not using any boost. That's good. You recovered it fairly well. Now, obviously, like I said, we want to, if we're being static, near post. I'll say it a couple times just to remind you. So near post, inside, because then you can see that it's not like you can push that ball much easier than the other ball. Like you were able to push that ball, but here's a much easier angle to push for this way or whatever way. So yeah, just something to know.
Right. I basically like passed it to him with that clear. So
Yeah, yeah. Because for me, if this should be an easy shot on goal for me, like a hard shot on goal, right? You see that you got no power on that, right? Because you
Right.
didn't contact it well enough. So if we slow it down, we'll go like 50. So you can see you're not actually. I think you're side. Yeah, you side flip there. I think, right? But imagine you did like a diagonal flip or even a front flip. You get so
Front
much more
flip,
power on that. Dominus is so
God.
great at power, right? So you gotta, if you're using the Dominus, I'm mainly an Octane player right now, but I've had like maybe 2,500 hours in Dominus. Ball hit hard. That's your main goal here, right? You hit ball
Yep.
hard, probably go in, right? Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
just it's not a mechanical thing. It's kind of like you need to hit the ball more often, like say in a training attack or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That was probably just a panic flip.
Yeah, I mean, I could see
Yeah.
I can see why, but like I don't know. I would have probably have tried to 50-50 hard and pinch it into this corner right here so that it centers. So think about 50-50s in a way where you're trying to force the ball off the path of least resistance into an area where it goes center. Okay? That's all you're thinking about for 50s. How good is your 50-50 game?
I think they're okay. I mean, obviously, I think they probably need some work, but I never get dominated by them, I guess. But
Yeah.
I never dominate with them either. They're
So
usually
the next level is to force the 50-50 into the place where you want it to. You don't have to force win it to go into goal. You just want to force it into an area where, he's sitting here, right? So his momentum's kind of going this way, right? So you just want to push it in so that kind of hits around about here, sort of. That's the next level. So yeah. Because this is an awkward ball for your teammate to take, right? And
Yeah.
instead of an advantageous position, you're now in a kind of a not advantageous. You're kind of creeping up heavily and not creeping up in the right place. So if you want to creep up, which is fine, think of the pitch as like thirds, okay? If I go up, right? You're not really covering. You're you're not really covering where the ball's gonna be, right? Where do you think the ball's gonna go?
From here, if they make a 50, I think it's going to go over into right field.
Mm-hmm.
So
So we want to, instead of be where you are, which is here,
probably a little more in mid.
you wanna go wide, either here or mid boosts. So I say this to every person I coach, but I always find it like it's super useful for them to hear it. Um, use the little boost pads as your driving lanes, okay?
Mhm.
So if we go none,
That is one thing I try to do is I will work mostly on the small boost pads because I have had coaches tell me about positioning. And there's one coach in particular that kind of explained it. There's a V from our own net, and then there's diamonds on each side.
yeah.
And
So
the
I
way,
say the same,
yeah,
like these ones,
yep,
right? So
yep.
I like the little boost
Um,
pads, obviously, but I use them first to position yourself. So this one's
mhm,
obviously too close, right? So you could either go for this
right.
one or this one, okay? So so
Yeah.
yeah.
The only thing is like with previous coaches, and this is why I'm
Mm-hmm.
positioned the way I am right here in this video, is they've told me to be basically on the same side with my teammate.
No,
So
that's a
that's
bad
just my
idea.
explanation for, yeah,
That's
that's
a
just the
very bad idea.
explanation why I'm right there.
So this is a terrible idea. I mean, okay, it's not a terrible idea if the ball is being here and you're in. Let's flip the script. So like, you're pushing up, your teammate's pushing up from here, going this way, okay, and then you're
Mhm,
in here. So let's just remove everything. So if he's pushing up anytime and he's
mhm.
a 50-50 is about to happen, I'd expect for myself personally, I sit inside the goal and wait for the 50-50 to happen until they're challenged, until they're free from halfway. I chill out in goal because this takes one flip, two flips, and then you're in a position to kind of, do whatever you need, right? And you can also pick up
Okay.
little boost pads. But
Yeah.
once he's gone past halfway, right? You got to
Mhm.
make the decision to go wider because you can still cut back. If a ball 50-50 is here, right?
It's
Um,
not going into our net.
yeah,
It's going
yeah,
to go
yeah.
into the
But
corner.
also,
It'll give me
you
time.
you're
Yeah.
you're gonna get there first before they do, right?
Right.
But if you're here, and he goes for a center and bounces out, this is shot on goal. If you're here, you can still go in and cut in and shoot on goal, right?
Hmm.
So he's covering, say, this area right here. You need to cover somewhere around this area, right, for the shot on goal,
Yep.
right? So think about it there, okay?
Okay.
But after all, coaches all have their own ways, but
Yeah.
this for me,
Yeah.
I found spreading out is so much better. Just because you cover more of the field, right? You're not covering much of the field here. You're not being in a position to support. I don't support passes. I support 50-50s and things where the ball gets thrown into the opponent's half in a place where you can score and then the other guy can pull out,
Right.
right? Once you do a
Right.
passing
Right.
play, you're both committed, but
Mhm.
these kind of plays are much better because you're not both committed. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Okay, cool.
No, I thought it was. I just figured I'd explain why I
No,
was
totally get it.
positioned where it was. It's kind of,
But you can see
but
what's happened, right?
yeah, it's already on this side, and if I was already over there, then
You probably could have
I could have
50-50'd well, or done something,
Mhm.
right? Here now you're just stationary. I don't know how good your oh, that's a decent challenge. Now you should go for whoa. I wonder if you got demoed or they got do you remember if your teammate got demoed here?
I don't remember.
Okay, so this is the type of thing where if your opponent, if your let's look. Let's look. So obviously you keep an eye to see if you got demo or your teammate got demo or they got
Okay.
demo. So this informs how I'd approach this play. Instantly when I hear the demo, I look and see if my teammate got demoed, then I play exactly how you're playing. If my if the opponent got demoed, I go aggressive and I bump this guy. Okay?
Okay, yeah, because once he's out of play, my
Yeah,
teammate
it's
can
a
just
two on
go
one,
ahead
right?
and
Classic
pop
two
it
on one.
in. Yep.
So this is the thought process you got to go to. So that's why instantly when I saw that, heard that demo, I went, is it my opponent or my teammate? Makes a huge difference.
Mhm.
So here, you're playing the good thing, which is positioning patiently. But oh, oh, have you done it? Oh, painful.
Yep.
You jumped too high. for where you position. So if we slow this down a little bit, right?
Yeah, my shooting is something that definitely needs to be.
It's not shooting. It's prediction of where the ball's gonna be. Okay, like shooting's a different thing. This is more like figuring out kind of like what pace and where the ball's sort of gonna be. Okay, so if we play this back, you see you're so much higher. If you had been a little lower, right, you hadn't jumped so high, probably have 50-50 this in easily, right?
Right.
So it's kind of like you have bounce predictions, you have shots on goal. There are skills that kind of intermingle a little bit, but here you just gotta figure out where the ball's actually gonna bounce. That's the thing that you want to look here. So that helps if you do like training packs where you're doing power shots on goal, but
Right.
you can practice it in other ways. But that's probably the easiest way to figure out how to do it, right? Figure out how if a ball's going at this speed, where do I need to be to hit the ball hard, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so that informs this kind of thought process here. If you're on here, you wanna arrow. Do you use arrow left or arrow right?
I've got arrow right bound.
Okay, I'm gonna try and show you. Let's see if my controller will work. That's the real question. Quick escape, right? And now does it work? Okay, cool. All right, so 102. Okay, so if I'm in the same position as you are here, and I'm like, so I'll go in, wave dash. You see that? See how much quicker I am? So I'm going in. If I'm going in, I jump off. Obviously, you want to jump off before. So you go in. Then you get, you see how much speed I'm getting without even using any boost?
Right. Yep. That is one thing I am practicing is my wave dashes off the walls. But
Yeah. If we're talking about wave dashes off the walls, you want to help yourself by turning your car in the direction that you want to go to. So if you want to go, okay, I'm going to go down. It makes things a lot simpler to kind of sort out. So yeah, is that what you're practicing?
Yeah. Yep.
So easy one to speed it up is turn your car so you can get down quicker. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, because it simplifies how you wave dash. So yeah, and also kind of helps you For me, I always struggle with trying to figure out, which way I have to turn. So do I turn this way or this way? Like left or right. So if I do it in the air, it gives myself time to understand which way is turning which way. So like here, I'm turning, and then out. Cool. All right, let's go back into this. So, anytime a 50-50 happens in your half, do not push forward.
Okay.
Think about this. Have you done, like, do you see you're not actually achieving anything?
Yeah, and now this just put us into a bit of an awkward situation where we have to scurry back. That makes sense.
Think about this. What changes from where you are versus where if I positioned here and waited for the 50-50 to happen and sat here.
Yeah, if that ball was to come directly.
And then I boom this to next week to their goal, right? Easy, right? Patience.
Yep.
But if you push forward, much harder. You can't. Driving forward with boost is so much easier than driving backwards, right? So yeah.
Okay.
You wanna boost here a little bit more, okay? Because you wanna make sure that RuneScape knows that he can't get to this ball, and if he does, you wanna pinch it with him to 50-50 it into their half, okay?
Okay.
So these are the types of things that you have to think about a little bit more.
A little more aggression, a little more boosting.
A little bit more aggression, but also
patience.
Thinking, this guy is coming to the ball, how can I make it an advantage to me, right? He's coming awkwardly back. He wants to 50-50 it sort of in this way. How do I counter that and 50-50 it into their goal, right? Basically.
Okay.
Or their half. Cool.
Yep.
And I pick up little boost pads. I like it. Now, I think you turn a little bit too aggressively forward. I'd be still facing a little bit more back. Just because You can turn left more, but it's hard to turn right and boost out. You know, you're not gonna if you're like slightly this way, right? That's okay, right? Because you can just turn in. But this is harder to go back, right? Make sense?
Okay.
So yeah. And you either go for this ball or don't, you know? This awkward like front post stuff is pretty bad.
Okay.
Because now this is super freaking awkward,
Yep.
right? Either
Yep.
your teammate gets back in time, so I go, all right, I'm gonna believe that my teammate gets back. I'm gonna be aggressive and challenge, right? Which is fine.
Okay.
But obviously you need to know that he can get back in time. But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't believe that, then you just do what I said, near post inside the goal. All right. So
Okay.
just chill out here. Transparent goalposts. Sit here. Let's see. Let's play it out and see how it looks. So ball post, and then I challenge, right?
Yeah, because I made it awkward. That guy had to challenge it. Yeah.
Yeah, and if the opponent was already going for this ball, you'd be screwed, right?
Right.
So yeah, just something to kind of think about. Here, you can kind of the ball bounces, you fly up. Maybe it takes a little bit of time for you to start, training that a little bit because you don't have to like boost hard up. You can just flutter your boost and kind of flutter up to the ball. But
Mm-hmm.
definitely a skill that you want to practice a little bit. Now, you obviously want to go inside the goal here a little bit more so that you can go forward easier. A bit of a delayed hit there. Something that you can definitely practice with just shots on goal or something like that.
Okay.
I'll give you 2 training packs I use to improve my shooting. So you're kind of doing the worst of both worlds. You're giving him time to control the ball. And now you've committed yourself hard, so now your teammate's in an awkward position, right?
Okay.
So either you communicate, I'm gonna pressure him, I'm challenging him, or don't challenge him and fake challenge and leave. Okay? Let your teammate deal with it. Okay?
Yep.
Once you've challenged hard, now you're putting your teammate in an awkward situation.
Becomes a 2v1.
Yeah. I like that you're picking up little boost pads. That's good. Now, anytime there's an air dribble or something like that, I always stay back, which is good. But you're still in that no man's land thing I'm talking about, right?
Okay. So too far back.
Both. For me, this is either I push up and challenge here, or I leave and kind of sit inside the goal, and let my teammate challenge. Because you've done that, but don't be that awkward midline area, you know? That.
Right. Make a decision. And
Yeah. All right. Next thing. You're just kind of slowly going forward, and you make it more and more awkward for yourself, right? Here. So if you want to deal with this, as soon as he just starts pushing it forward, like right here, just fly up. Just fly up. 50-50. That's it. Okay. He's not gonna. No one at this level is good enough to change the direction of his air dribble. Okay. If he is, then he's smurfing. Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just fly up, hit 50-50 it, push it over here. Now this guy has no boost because he's used it all to air dribble, and then you guys have a 2-on-1, right? But because you're going really awkward with the ball and just like slowly just going like this, right? Just challenge him, just like a goalie. Whenever I think about myself in the goal, I think of myself like a goalkeeper, you know. I want to block as much of the goal as possible. So yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, that is something I definitely need to work on as well. Is my aerial defense.
So here, he scores that, right? You're not actually helping out in that defense, right?
Right.
He just missed it.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine you'd 50-50 that. Now, Cinnamon Bun or whatever his name is in a really awkward position, right? You gotta trust that your teammate can do with the ball whatever's about to happen, right? Like you 50-50. Now it's his job, right, to do whatever he wants to do. If he's champ 3 level, then he should be able to kind of deal with it, right?
Right.
You're side on, so you're making a solid. This is making my stand challenge, which is a bad idea. Okay, because once you make a this is my stand kind of challenge where you're front on basically, you lose all momentum, and now how are you gonna get back, right?
Right.
Like you've lost all momentum. Instead,
So
if we're talking about this and you want to do this, I would
nose in and boost. Yeah. 50.
no 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 no. I would let me show you. So if we're here, we go up. So you're like perpendicular to the ball, right? So this is
Right.
you, this is the ball, right?
Hmm.
What you want to be is instead this way. So that the ball comes here, right? You're just 50-50ing it into your corner right here. Make sense?
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Path of least resistance when you do 50-50s, right? You do
Right.
that, your teammate has the ability to do whatever he wants with the ball, correct? And
Make it awkward for them.
if you mess it up, right, it's fine because you're still going this direction, right? So you can make other
Right.
challenges. So that's the idea.
Okay.
Because in the end, that's what happens. But now I'd be with momentum enough time to get back, you know, and help my teammate. Now instead, you're using boost to get back. Honestly, I wouldn't have gone in goal here. I would have played a little bit wider here. If I'm wider here, you can see this is a little bit more easier for me, just in case my teammate messes up, right? I can go for
Okay.
the ball here. If I'm here, this is much more awkward. I have to calculate every single angle, right? Here,
Right.
I'm able to kind of like adjust what's happening, and I won't own goal too. If you're here, you can own goal. Here, much harder, right?
Okay. So go for more of a back wall
Yeah.
corner.
So back wall rotations are fine. You just got to time yourself a little bit better so that you time yourself so where you need to be. You can slow yourself down. You're still going forward, but you can slow yourself down to match it where you sort of believe you need to be. It's a bit of a hard one to describe, but how I best think of it is, I want to be back post when he hits the ball. Make sense?
Right.
Did you believe that you were gonna hit this right here? What was your thought process here?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain. I thought I was gonna aerial hit that.
Okay. So there's a few difficult factors where I probably wouldn't have committed to this ball. First off, it goes up, and with the pace it's going to hit the ceiling. Okay, so you got to realize
Yeah.
where the ceiling is. Okay. Next thing, I go, okay, my teammate's there. He doesn't know where I'm going. Does he think I will
Right.
commit? Right. Let's look at it from his perspective. Right. All right. So he does a 50-50. Right. Does he know that you're going to go for this?
Nope.
Yeah. So you're the last man. You know what's happening. He doesn't. Okay. So this is where
Yeah.
that communication goes. If you believe you can read this, which I'll be honest, I doubt you could, and I doubt I could honestly. I would just let him play it. Okay. And he does. I don't know if
Right.
that's the best hit I would have had, but he hit it. If he's watching this video, I'd go. If we slow this down. And then we go, let's say 50. So you mistime. He's mistiming his second flip. You should be delaying it by a little bit more, so that the flip happens as he's about to contact the ball instead of delayed like this. That's why there's no power on it. If he front flips that, that's a goal easily in there, because there's no way Cinnamon Buns saves this, right? So yeah.
Right.
Now, let me just double check that I'm recording. I'm always like, am I recording? Yes, I am. Cool. All right. All right.
Yep. Done it again.
So you give him time, which is fine, but you have to know that he's gonna beat you to this ball. It's kind of like
Yeah,
distance.
he's much closer to that than
It's
I am.
distance, right? So he's got this amount of
Mhm.
distance. You've got this amount of distance. Obviously, perspective, etc., etc. But
Right.
there's no way in hell you're gonna get to this ball before he does, right?
Yeah, he beats me all day long.
So why do you?
That is that is a bad habit that I've got right
So
now. Showing you
why do you throw yourself at the ball?
to be intimidating and show dominance.
Okay, so
don't I don't know. It's
would the same thing happen if I fake challenge and then left? Would the same effect
right.
happen, right? I boost forward aggressively, then I leave. Instantly when I see
Yeah.
him go for before he does his massive hit, I just leave. So it does the
Mhm.
same thing, but you're back in time from
And I don't put my teammate in a weird two v
yeah.
one.
So yeah,
So.
you can. Yeah, I can understand the aggression, but you got to figure out how you can be aggressive so that's smart, right?
Hmm.
So yeah.
I need to stop doing that because I recognize that too every single time I see it. I'm like, I don't know why I challenge that.
Judge distances. The guy you sent me a Discord message, right? About the guy who reviewed it. Um,
Hmm.
the thing I would take if you were to do ones, which like I don't know if you want to. Like I think I did ones a little bit just because I wanted to get my flicks better. But the thing
Hmm.
that if you were to work on ones is judging distances between you and the opponent, okay, and the ball. Figuring out
Yeah, that
if you'll
makes
beat
sense.
him to a ball or don't. Working on a bit of mind games and things. Because for me, everything you do is almost honest to a fault, right? There's no fake challenges,
Mhm.
no fakes in any way, so that the opponent can figure out exactly what you're about to do, right?
Right.
So you gotta realize that throwing in some misdirection probably helps you out a little bit, so that you know, they don't know what you're about to do. Okay,
Okay.
so we want to sit wider a little bit more because you're the only one protecting, and you've just cut in really early. So now this is awkward, and now you've backed out. So you've kind of misdone multiple moves here. So the first move
Yeah.
is
So rotate more towards
back post.
far post then. Yeah.
So
Yep.
for me, I'd be like, is he gonna hit this? Is he? Yeah. If I'm in your position, right, I'd be like, all right, let's go. Let's take it back a little. So we'll go 50. We'll go 50%. So here's what I'm thinking. All right. Will my teammate 50-50? All right, I'm going wide a little bit just in case, so I can defend if the 50-50 happens badly, so I'm able to save
Hmm.
the goal. So as that 50 happens, I'm going wide so I can defend as much of the goal as possible. Now that I'm here, I'm just going to go near post, sort myself out. Okay, so he's going to take a long time. Let me sit inside post. And then I'll let my teammate kind of do whatever he wants. Now that he's hit it, I'm going to wait for the massive hit because it's about to happen. And then, can I beat him? Yeah, it's kind of like, it's a bit tough. Like, here, there's an opportunity to hit this hard, but if I know my teammate's just been demoed, I'll literally just sit inside the goal and wait. Okay?
Hmm.
And then, oh fuck, that's an awkward one. But yeah, you make a good, you make the best hit that you could there, so that's good. Now, let's not focus on the boost. You take an inordinate amount of time to look at that boost, right? Like you don't know what's happening, right? As soon as you're, as soon as you're angled to the boost, actually, do you need to get that boost? That's the first question.
Nope. I
Oh,
don't.
okay, so you should get back. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Because now no one's back, right?
Hmm.
That's a decent 50, but you kind of, dude, you make everything look so awkward. Like, I
It's
thought
quite a talent, actually.
I thought I was awkward in my situations, but like this could easily go into your goal, right?
Hmm.
If you were just slightly here, right? Almost impossible for you to get to own goal, right? Here,
Hmm.
very likely, potentially. Here, okay?
Yep.
It's those slight angles that make a huge difference, okay? Cool. I can see why you play defense, but probably be aggressive here. Your teammate should come behind you. I can hear him coming behind you, okay? So you want to force this guy to... Because you're letting him set up whatever shot he wants to get, right?
Right.
And then now your teammate's confused because you're sitting in goal the entire time, right? Like if we look at it from his perspective. Alright. He has no boost. Oh god, he has no boost. You can kind of understand why he went for the ball, right? Because you showed no signs of wanting to go for that ball, right?
Okay.
I like it. You're facing backwards. That's good. Now, as soon as this happens, this is where I push aggressively, okay? Or push up a bit more, okay? Because this should be your ball, right? But now you've made it, because you've had all this indecision. This is not your ball anymore. It's gonna be a 50-50, right? You see? If you had boosted where I was talking about, right? About once I know that's happened, I boost. Right? This is my ball clearly now, okay?
Okay.
So yeah, that's the difference between knowing... You gotta think about it. Is someone gonna make a touch in that time period? Unlikely. So now I can push aggressively, okay? That's the thought process, alright?
Okay.
Now, otherwise, because what's happened now is, if a 50-50 went badly, you're both in the same spot. Now you gotta support him, so you wanna be here. And then now I challenge hard if I want to. But I'm at least open so that if Dad Guy had passed at center, I'd be there. And if I hadn't, then I'd go like trying to force him into this corner, right? So kind of, I don't have to go for a hard 50-50 here. I can just, be a bit more patient. Hard 50-50s like this mean that either you win or they don't win, right?
Okay.
And now Dad Guy's in a really awkward situation, right? You got little boost pads, that's good, but don't waste your boost. Now, are you defending the goal here?
Nope, not really.
Okay.
I done pulled forward too much.
Yeah. So let's say we're here. 50. Easy 50.
Yeah.
Much more easy than your 50, right?
Right.
So, yeah. Going forward easier than going backwards. So set yourself up so you can just go forward. All right. Too much hesitation here. Either you go for this ball or don't, Right here. My thought process is, RuneScape's not going to get this. I can beat Cinnamon Bun to this, right?
Okay.
You're not also like... For me, this is a prime opportunity that he's not got control of the ball, right?
Right.
So you could be aggressive completely here if you wanted. And then you pull yourself out of the challenge, which is okay, but like I feel like you could just do a challenge where you just kill the ball in the middle, right?
Right.
You
go for a 50-50.
Yeah, go for a 50-50 where, like, if we're talking about this, what's the time? 3:33. So if I see my opponent kind of like go in here, I'd be like, double jump, kind of thing, kill the ball, like
get higher than them. And
no, just sit middle of the ball. That's all. So you wherever you think the 50-50 is about to happen, just like that, just kind of like block the where he's about to 50-50. Okay.
Right.
So yeah. Let me first switch my car. All right. So yep, clean 50-50 instead of just kind of, running past the ball. Kind of done nothing with it a little bit there. Okay, cool. Now push. You should be pushing here. Because, I guess Dad Guy's pushing here, but you should be trying to block whatever is about to happen here, okay?
Okay.
Because I mean, Cinnamon Bun's in a terrible position, but he should be in a position where he should be shooting at a goal from here, you know? So you need to block that
Okay.
hit that's about to happen. Now you should be going for this. You're taking way too much time here. This is your ball, okay?
Okay.
RuneScape's gone for boost, so this is your ball, okay? He's facing the wrong way. That's the easiest way to figure out if it's your ball, okay?
Okay.
But now you've let him face the right way and then get a good 50-50. Little aggressive, but I can understand you want to get the boost. Now you should be going for this ball. Where's the boost? You're just kind of being patient. Now you're letting him have the ball. You can be patient, but this is clearly your ball if you boost to it, right? Do you think?
Yeah. Okay.
'Cause the ball's coming towards you, right?
Yep.
But now you let him have the ball. Now you've kind of lost pressure, and now you go for a hard 50-50, and you barely get it. You gotta figure out where you want the confrontation to be, right? With him under control or not, you know?
Right.
Now you've turned the wrong way. You should be turning. A 50-50 is about to happen. You should be facing the complete opposite way. You should either you're let's talk about this. So if we're talking about this, so either you're kind of doing like a shadow defending thing where you're facing this way, right? So the ball's coming so that you can defend like this, or you're coming from here and defending this way. Okay.
Right.
If you're facing forward, this is a very awkward ball for you. But if you're facing backward, you can kind of match the defense a little bit, right? Match
Yeah,
the
I
spit
think
walls.
they even scored off of this too.
I didn't even know you got scored on. I was just like, this is a terrible position to be in.
Yeah. Whoops.
Oh. Did you double jump here? Okay. Do you know how to speed fast aerial?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, because it kind of sounds
makes that
like
makes that all the much worse.
you're like, oh, you're like, okay, instead of like,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
like
man.
that's a much easier 50-50, right? More dominant. So yeah, just keep that in mind, okay?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right,
Oh no,
okay,
that was awful.
it's all right. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. I don't even. You got scored
Some
on.
do. Hopefully, me after I get told for the 15th
Yeah,
time.
it's all good, dude. It's
Oh,
all
no.
good. The painful ones are the easiest ones to remember. That's all we have to know. All right, shitty kickoff, right?
Yep.
Out of control.
Sometimes I goof them.
Okay,
It's
so you want to hold
important.
drift. You want to hold drift. So the diagonal kickoff, you want to land forward to the ball, right? You know that, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
you see here, you haven't drifted at all. You haven't held drift, so that's why you go immediately straight forward, right? So
Yep.
if we're talking about this, right about here, here, your momentum's gonna take you this way. Your car is taking you this way, right?
Yep.
If you
Yeah.
drift, you can kind of get the best of both worlds near here, but because you don't drift, you just go this way, right? Okay, that's the reason why you
Right.
messed that one up.
Yeah.
We'll not mention that one.
Yeah, I told you. Sometimes it's painful. No.
Do you
Unfortunately, my
Yeah.
my controller is like 6 years old, so the
Mhm.
jump button does not register sometimes, which is why I did that right there.
Have I heard?
No.
Have I? There's a Black Friday sale going on right now. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm
Get
one of them.
something for Dad.
Yeah, no kidding.
What controller
Oh,
do you use?
goodness. A PlayStation 4 controller.
Maybe a dual station, dual sense? Question mark? Question mark?
Oh,
know,
I
know.
I actually have a PS5 controller, and I didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Uh,
gonna yeah.
you should get another. I mean, I'll be honest. You should be getting if you don't like the DualSense, you should be getting another DS4 controller as quickly as you can because they'll probably skyrocket in price as they
Yeah.
get rarer and rarer. I mean, I use an
I
Xbox controller, so I can't really complain. I use an Xbox Elite, but
oh,
yeah,
right. I actually that's it's funny you mentioned that because the PS4 controllers this past summer when I was looking at them were like $140 or something like
oh
that for a
god,
little while, and I was like, "What is going on?" They've
yeah,
now dropped back down.
I would get another one just in case, but obviously,
Oh,
uh,
I'm thinking about getting two because they are going to be hard to get here
yeah.
before too long.
I mean, I started on a PS3 controller actually, and
Oh goodness.
I moved to a PS4 controller, but I don't know, I have big hands, so I get cramped after a while. That's why
Yeah,
I
I
moved to an
feel that.
Xbox controller. In the end, I like the Xbox controller now, but yeah, just something to think about. You might, I mean, it does feel a bit weird switching controllers, but you might try an Xbox controller if you want, like because they all are about the same shape. Uh,
I do have a 360 controller
yeah,
that I could
you
try
can
in for a
you can try
minute.
try that. Link it up to your. I think there's like software you can use, but yeah, maybe try that. See if it'll work, because then they're all the same shape, so they'll never cost a lot of money, because they'll all be about the same price. So just something to
Right.
think about. Yeah. All right. Next thing, what are you thinking right about here? Okay, you get boost. Now right about here, what are you thinking? What do you reckon you're thinking?
Um, Sorry about that. My kiddo's
That's all good. That's all good. Just
kind of
no worries.
it's kind of being a goofball. I think that RuneScape is going to end up hitting it over towards Cinnamon Bun.
Okay.
So I think that because that guy just pounded it down towards the net,
Are
RuneScape
Are there a
is
lot of are there okay? First off, are there a lot of passing plays in Champ 2?
uh yes and no. It honestly kind of varies
See,
de- um
see for me,
per match, at least in my experience.
let's have a look at it. Yeah, for me, I'm looking at Morbid. I'm looking at
Mhm.
RuneScape. I'm thinking this is a hard hit. He's smashing this ball. There's no way he's controlling
Okay.
this. If he does, but if he does control it, you're overrunning the play here, right?
Okay.
Think about it. Let's have a look at your goal. You can see that you're just gonna keep going forward, right?
Right.
See? Now you've made your stand right here, right? So now,
Okay.
what part of the goal do you think you're defending?
Uh, Basically anything that is, well, not really actually, not
Mm-hmm.
very much. If only just the front post,
Yeah,
because if they
and
just flick it over me or even do a double touch,
this is where you head back post.
yeah.
Much easier to see. And then you can probably read this a little bit better, but yeah, he's not making the touch. This is Champ 2. There's no way they make the touch. But yeah, back post here. You left the goal open right there.
No, unfortunately,
So here you
with
got a
that guy,
challenge. So
okay,
you have 30 seconds, right? Makes it clear, right? You need to boost forward to force Cinnamon. You want to try and get a 50-50 so that it centers for you guys, all right?
okay,
Otherwise, now he's controlled the ball. It's much harder for you guys to get anything really concrete. You're just kind of
hmm
you're letting Dad Guy basically chase the ball all the time. I'm assuming that's the way that you guys kind of play, right?
yeah. That guy's a little more aggressive. I am passive, and
So for
yeah, it's
twos to
just
work,
how it is. And unfortunately, I don't. We don't really communicate as much as I think we probably should, maybe.
mhm.
So it does lead to a bit of confusion, I think, for both of us.
For twos to work, you need at least one guy on the ball at all times. Okay.
Yeah.
This is prime opportunity. As soon as I see my teammate hit ball hard, right? He needs time to
Mhm.
recover right about here, right?
Okay.
So you need to boost forward so that you can kind of be the aggressive one, okay?
Start chasing it
Yeah, because you're
and
not.
making it stressful for them.
Yeah, because let's look at it from Cinnamon Bun's perspective, right?
Okay.
So, all right, he needs to get back. You see how passive he has to play because he's last man.
Hmm.
So you can be aggressive because you're first man, right? Put it,
Right.
put, put, put the thought process. You have to kind of place yourself in the opponent's perspective, where he's trying to buy time. You're trying to hurry him up, right?
Right.
So now he's successfully bought time. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
Now you've just kind of been really aggressive, but no plan involved. You should be slowing down here. You need to wait what's about to happen, because really all your momentum's taking you this way, right? But what
Hmm.
happens to the ball goes center, right? There's no way for you to get there, right?
Right.
Now what happens if the ball goes above you? Uh, there's no way, because you keep going forward, right? You got to slow down a little bit there. I understand
Okay.
because there's little time left, but you gotta make sure that you have lots of options open, okay?
Okay.
Because now, because you
Yeah.
go forward so much, you messed up that play, right?
Hmm.
I can totally
Unfortunate.
understand wanting to be passive and defensive, but there's opportunities where you need to be and opportunities where you have to wait, okay? And
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to kind of talk you through, you know?
I gotta start recognizing both.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, like you said earlier, I make things look so awkward. uh, that's funny.
cool.
Excellent.
All right. So do you have any questions, actually?
I think I asked most of them while we were going through it.
Okay.
And for the most
So
part, I just need to start knowing what challenges I need to start recognizing
if it
to
was
go
me,
for it.
I'd play about 15 minutes on. Do you have Baki's mod?
Yes.
Okay. So you know how there's like random variation, right?
Hmm.
So set that up to medium, and then do something like shots you shouldn't miss, and try and just kind of understand how bounces work. Like
Okay.
get that one, and then fly a little bit. Now for this one, I'm just gonna hit the ball hard, like that, like this. Like I'm reading where how a bounce off the wall is gonna work. Like speed, and then
Right.
reading, where it's gonna happen. Here I'm just gonna hit this off the backboard a little bit. If I can. It's a bit awkward because right now I've got a wooden board, and I'm playing on top of it because yeah, I'm not on my desk. But yeah, so this is where you kind of practice how to hit the ball hard. Cut in like that. You see that? I cut in.
Hmm.
So you see, go in. I'm cutting and I'm flipping into it. You see that? You see how much power I get?
Right.
And then here,
Paint into a bazooka.
you see, I'm able to time where the ball's about to hit, and then hit the ball hard. That's all. Let's not work on accuracy. Let's work on consistency of hitting the ball hard. Okay, first, then we can work on
Okay.
accuracy. 'Cause, you're gonna mess up. You're gonna mess up
I, I
hits.
do. I do consistent. I do actually consistently. Holy moly. Hit it pretty hard actually like that. I'm not accurate.
Well, for me, I saw you hit the ball very weakly multiple times.
Okay.
Like for example, the 50-50, where you
Hmm.
misjudged the bounce a little bit, right? That
Yeah.
one, if you had understood how a ball bounces, or the speed at which it'll get there, could have done better.
Okay.
There's one where you there's a few times where a ball's bouncing off a corner or something like that, and you just don't understand how it's gonna work. So this is the type of stuff where you can read it a little bit better and kind of start understanding, like where do I hit it so that when the ball bounces up, I'm hitting it on the way up like that. You see that? When you hit
Right.
the ball on the way up, you get so much more power because you're not fighting the ball, right?
Right. Yep.
So yeah. So yeah, I'd recommend shots you shouldn't miss. Just kind of getting into a little bit of, I think shots you shouldn't miss is right here. Just getting into understanding how the ball bounces and how to hit it hard. That's all.
Okay.
Because yeah. But in terms of like a summation of the stuff, uh, I'm glad that you play passive, but you have to know when you have to be aggressive, right? Um,
Yeah. Right.
and and sometimes mindlessly going forward isn't the best idea. Like just driving slowly forward. You have to know,
Hmm.
what opportunities the opponent has. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, little boost pads, but you're far better than the average person that I coach. So you're doing well there. Um, Back post and then being on the line itself. Like you want to be behind the line if you're near post, right?
Okay.
So yeah, those are the few things you can practice. If your teammate is on a wall and hits the ball or is aeriling, it's now what you choose to do. Okay, because it takes
Okay.
time for them to recover, so you have to be that aggressive person. Okay, um,
Right.
the 50-50 game. We talked about not doing hard 50-50s, just doing kind of like pushing it into your corner so your teammate can get the ball, kind of thing.
Right.
Because once you hard bite on a ball, then you mess it up, which you saw multiple times you did, because you
Mhm.
didn't judge. They'd get to the ball first. You gotta kind of figure that into if you're gonna 50-50. Fake challenges, all sorts of things, right? So
Right.
yeah. Any other questions?
No, I think that pretty much clears everything up.
All right, I'm just gonna stop.
Thank you for going over this with me.
That's all good.